Hi everyone. So for this video, I will show you regarding the packet tracer lab to connect a router to a LAN. For the first part, basic router configuration, we will do in class. So this one a video so that you can refer back the video, then try to fill up the question in the manual. Here you got some question you need to fill up. So from this video you can get the answer. Please give attention which part you need to write the answer, then I will give you the example of the answer. So you need to complete it as part of your lab report. Okay. First you try to look at the addressing table. We have two router R1 R2 and then four PCs with the interfaces and also the IP address assigned. Later we will refer back to this addressing table to configure each interfaces in the router and the PC. Ignore it. So objective of this lab, part 1 will display router information. We'll go to R1 and R2 to look the information about the router and then configure router interface. For example, R1 they got 3 interface we need to configure for IP and so on, and then verify the configuration. So for the background here, in this activity you will use various show command to display current state of the router. You will then use the addressing table to configure router Ethernet interfaces. Finally, you will use command to verify and test your configuration. So not here. The routers in this activity are partially configured. That's why I give you the activity file, the packet tracer activity file, so that you didn't require to uh, configure from the scratch. Some of the configuration are not covered in this course, but they are provided to assist you in using verification command. Okay, we start with the part 1 to display router information. So display interface information on R1. Where is R1? Click the R1. This is the cell I, right? So given to you already. Okay, maybe I need to go back and exit. Okay, password for console given to us Cisco CISCO, and then enable the execution the map exact password is class. Okay. So now which command display the statistic for all interfaces configured on a router? So maybe you don't know about this command, so please look into the command that I give you. Show interfaces. This one will show the statistic for interfaces in this router. So this is one of the show command. You see what are the information here? First interface gigabit Ethernet 0.0 so is administrative down and so on. So this is all information you see. Hardware is gigabit Ethernet, address is 0. This is MAC address, so mean there are no IP address assigned yet, only MAC address available. So you see the bandwidth and so on. We go one by one. Gigabit and gigabit 01, serial 01, all the interface is 0, serial 001, Ethernet 010, Ethernet 011, Ethernet 012, Ethernet 013. Then we have VLAN. So this is all the interface we have. So which command display the statistic? You can put as show. Let's see. Suddenly my word didn't work properly. So I give you already show interfaces, right? show interfaces. One of the show command. And then which command display the information about the serial 000 interface only? So if we put show interfaces, all the interfaces information or statistic will be displayed. And then now we only want uh, specific interface which serial 000 only. So just put same thing, show interfaces, interface only, right? This one not interfaces, serial 0, the numbers, right? This one serial, right? Okay, based on the lab requirement. Now you get the serial number. Serial interface is up, line protocol is up, connected. And then enter the command to display the statistic for serial and answer the following question. Okay, we have already this one, right? The command. You can write the command here. Show interface serial 0 dash slash 0 slash 0. This is the name of the interface. Okay, what is the IP address configured on R1 in the serial port? This one, internet address 209. I can copy. Right? Cannot. Okay, no worry. So this is the IP. So you can write the answer here. Slash 30. That means CIDR 30. What is the bandwidth of the serial 000 interface? Where you can get the bandwidth? MTU, this one, BW. BW is the bandwidth. Means the answer is 1544 kilobit. So this is the bandwidth. The answer for C2. Answer for C2 is 1544. Hopefully you can get the answer. And then enter the command to display the statistic of gigabit Ethernet 00 interface and answer the following question. What is the IP address? Okay, same command. Show interface, but just change interface into gigabit. Gigabit, put gigabit 00, right? So you get the statistic. What is the IP of R1 in gigabit 0? Where is it? Show interface, and then you see address is this one. It's not a IP address, it's more on the MAC address. So means here there are no IP address configured yet in this interface. We can write here. There is no IP addresses or IP address configured in this interface gigabit Ethernet 0 for R1 router. You can write the answer like this. And then what is the MAC address of the gigabit Ethernet 00 interface? This is the MAC address. You can write the MAC address 000d.bd60.7d01. Okay, this is the MAC address. And next, what is the bandwidth of the gigabit Ethernet? So you can see where is it? This one, bandwidth. How much? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It look like 1 million kilobit or 1 gigabit per second. Okay, this is bandwidth. So you can write the answer here, kilobit. Okay, next step 2, display a summary list of the interface on R1. How to do that? Which command display a brief summary of the current interface status and the IP address assigned to them? So we only want the brief brief information of the summary, not the statistic anymore. So you can use the command show show IP interface, then brief, right? You want a brief summary. Okay, brief This is the command available. Then this is the brief summary. You can see in R1 there are how many interfaces available. So the step 2A, this is the command, right? But B, enter the command to each router and answer the following question. For R1, how many serial interface are there? You see as serial, right? R1, we got two serial interfaces. So how about R2? Same thing. You can go to R2, go to cell I, Cisco, right? What is the password? Class. Okay. So R2 you can show IP interface through IP interface brief. Oops. Okay. So is it this one? I copy my file. Okay. See here in R2 how many? Got two also, right? Two serial. So that R1 they got two and R2 also got two for serial. How many Ethernet interface on R1 and R2? So we look into R2 first lah. Ethernet mean include gigabit and also fast Ethernet, both Ethernet. So here only two, right? R2 only having two Ethernet, both gigabit Ethernet. How about R1? Click back, R1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So your answer is R1 having 6 Ethernet in the port for Ethernet, but R2 only have 2. You can write the answer here. Okay. All the Ethernet interface are the same? If not, explain the difference. What do you think? Is it same or not? All 6. You see 2 here, another 4 here. You can get the answer from here, right? It's not the same because only 2 of it are gigabit Ethernet, but another 4 are fast Ethernet. We know that gigabit Ethernet can support until 1 gigabit per second or more than that. But for fast internet normally only 100 megabit per second. So this is the difference. So you can write the answer here. I give you the hint already, so no problem for you to write the answer. Then display the routing table on R1. How to display the routing table? This is R1, right? We can try to use show IP. Show IP root. So you can see what are the code here. Show IP root. Codes L equal to local, C connected. So in the question here, enter the command R1 and answer the following question. So command is this show IP root. You can write the full answer SHOW, but I just put the short answer. SH means show IP root here. To are in the R1 on the R1. This is the code and the command. Then how many connected root are there? You see code. You see the code here. C equal to connected. So mean just C. C only one here. only one connected, directly connected in using serial port 000. So the answer for B2 is 1. B1 is 1. Which route is listed? So you just copy this route, right? This one connected 209.165.200.224/30, and this is the route that connected. And how does a router handle a packet destined for a network that is not listed in the routing table? So in the routing table, they have only two, and then one of it are connected. So what happened if the packet destination is not in the list in the routing table? What happened? Normally, the router will only send packet to a network that they have in the list in the routing table. If the network is not in the list of the routing table, normally the packet will be dropped. So bye bye packet. So the packet will be dropped. You can write like this. They did not send because they only send to the destination that have in their list, the routing table list. If not, they just drop the packet. That's the answer. Okay, next, configure router interface. We need to configure one by one. First, part 2, configure the gigabit Ethernet and in your R1. How to do that? We need to go to config mode. So how? Config terminal, right? Then we go to interface. We need to go inside the interface itself. For example, gigabit, we go to gigabit 0, 0. So each interface have their own port or configuration line. Okay. Then we assign the IP address. Address 192.168, right? 10.1, and then the subnet mask 255.255.255. This is the default subnet mask for class C address. Then enter. Put no shutdown. Why? We want it active, right? No shutdown. Okay. It is good practice to configure a description for each interface to help document the network. Configure an interface description that indicate the device to which is connected. So another one, you can make a description of this connection or this address belong to what and what. So you can use this description, or normally I put this DESC description. LAN connection to S1 mean this interface gigabit internet is gigabit 00 will be used to communicate or to connect the S1 or network for the switch 1. So now when you see this interface already assign the IP address, right? S1 already assigned the IP address here, mean you see the color also become green, means this can be connect to the network here, the PC inside this network, PC1 for example. So we try to ping PC1. And of the configuration, ping the PC1 address 192.168.10.10. See here, send unified packet success. Okay, then we can ping. Settle. Next, step 2, configure remaining gigabit Ethernet interface on R1, R2. So you need to do one by one, right? For each of the Ethernet. Same concept, same part. Example, what else? can check back the routing table. R1 and R2, you see. R1 we have this gigabit Ethernet as well. R2 you have 2 gigabit Ethernet, right? So please configure. Start with R1 G1 G01. So config tbag. You can go to 01, right? Just change the things, then you configure IP address just using the existing command. Easier for you. Gigabit 01 will be start with 11.1, correct? You can map it and map again. The same subnet mask. Okay, next. Then after configuration, you put no shutdown, right? Okay, after no shutdown, you will give some description. Make a description. This one based on S2. Okay, the gigabit 01 are connected to S2. Okay, just put S2. Next, complete. This description is there. Just put N. So you can ping back, ping PC2 because you already configure the S2 that connected you to PC2. What are the PC2 IP address? 11.10, right? Go to 11.10. Sending 5 packet as well. Success, same like we configure the PC, the S1 and S2 in gigabit Ethernet, right? So complete the R1. So you need to do the same thing in R2. Cisco plus conf. Okay, and we need to go to the interface, right? Which interface? Interface, we got also gigabit 00 first. You see R2 you got gigabit 00, the IP address 10. So that they're using network address class A. Okay, now you are in the interface. What you need to do, assign the IP address. IP address 10.1.1.1. Is it correct? This one G00. Okay, then the subnet mask will be same thing. They're using same thing. 55.255.255. But actually, they can use 255.0. It's okay. Just follow. The subnet mask available there. Then enter. No shutdown. Shutdown. Okay. Can make a description as well. Description. The LAN will connected. Connection to which one? S3 to this gigabit 01 00 to S3. So you see here S3. F2. It's just a description, no issue. Then put N. Now you see the PC3 can connect it to R2. R2 can connect to PC3. The connection already green. So you can try ping the PC3. Ping 10.1.1.10. Here. Okay, success rate. Okay, same. The next, we need to configure S4, mean the G01 in R2. Same thing, go back to config T. Actually, you can go directly after 01, but just step by step. Go back, go to gigabit 01, then the IP address, same thing, only the difference here, 2, right? 2, no shutdown, and this description, this one will be to switch 4, right? LAN connection to switch 4 having another LAN. Then you can end the configuration. You see, now slowly become green, right? You can try to ping PC4. Ping .2, right? Okay, success. I mean, you have configured all the switches already. Later you can check back your configuration already. So where is us now? Which step? Okay, backup. Now we need to backup the step 3 here. Verify. We verify with the ping, right? Description done. Okay. Now backup. Okay, backup the configuration. Step 3 in part 2. So backup configuration in NVRAM. Why we need to do that? Because if we didn't backup the configuration still in the RAM. If let's say your switch or your router shut down because of maybe the power shortage or power supply breakdown and whatsoever, then the configuration will be lost. So you need to reconfigure again. If let's say we have a lot of configuration and complicated configuration without backup, okay, completely you will wasting your time to configure again and again. So that's why you need to backup it. How to backup? You can using copy command, run copy run start startup config. Okay, you already save the file name or the configuration in NVRAM, non-volatile RAM, not the RAM that normally volatile. This one different storage, different RAM. Okay, then we need to verify the configuration, right? Part 3. Use verification command to check your interface configuration. Show IP interface brief, similarly like previously. Command on both R1 and R2 to quickly verify the interface are configured with the correct IP address and are active. Okay, R2 we already save, but R1 we did not save yet. So we save also R1. Run, start. Not start, copy, run, start. Copy, run, start up. Okay. Oops. Okay, R1 also save. How many interface R1 and R2 are configured with IP addresses and up state? So how to show command previously, right? Show IP in interface brief. Right, they give you already. Show interface brief. You see how many interface on R1 and R2 are configured with IP address. So you see in R1 there are 3 interface, right, already configured and up. So other interface are still not configured because not connected to any other devices. So you see 3 interface, 2 interface for the network or the LAN, 1 interface to another router, up and IP address. This one for R1. How about R2? Okay, same thing. Show IP interface brief. You can see also 3, right? 3 interfaces that are up and IP assigned for them with your IP address. So you can write the answer here. How many interface? So each of the router having 3 interface that got the IP address and status up state. Okay. What part of the interface configuration is not displayed in the command output? Because we only run the brief one, right? What command can you use? This one. What part? Okay. What part of the interface configuration not display? You see here, interface got IP. But we configure, if you still remember when we configure the interface, we configure the IP and also the subnet mask, correct? So what are the thing that what part of interface not display is the subnet mask lah. This is the answer. Subnet mask is not display in the brief configuration. A brief description here. Okay, what command can you use to verify this part of the configuration? You can use one of it and try to use show command. Show run. Okay, show running config. You can see also show running config. You can see the same thing, right? Interface serial 1 000 the IP example. This is the IP with the subnet mask. Similarly here, IP with subnet mask, IP with subnet mask. Okay, can use also show config or show run config or show run. Show run same thing. Show run only can be. Then you can also using show interfaces, right? Last time interfaces same thing. Too many, right? We got also IP. Then is up. Can also use all the interfaces. Next, you can also use show IP protocols. Similar things. You can see routing for network ongoing, right? So these 3 can be. So the question number step 1, A, right? What command to verify the configuration? We can use either show running config, show interfaces, or show IP protocols. 3 command you can verify the configuration. Show running config, show interfaces, and show IP protocols. Okay, this is the answer. And then use the show IP root command on both R1 and R2 to view the current routing tables and answer the following question. You can start with R2 because now we are under R2. So show IP root, show IP root. Now you see connected root C. How many C here in R2? C connected to switch 1 this one connected to switch 2, and then this one connected to router 2, router 1, right? So this one different. Switch 3, switch 4, and router. So the interfaces, they got 3 interface that root, that connected routes. Okay, for R2, how about R1? Is it same? Logically, it will be same, right? We see there are 3 root here. S1, S2, and also R2. 3 root. It's okay, you can check back. Although we can logically look into show IP root. See how many C here? 3C as well, right? C, C, and C. And then number 2, how many OSPF root use the O code? You see each other. Okay, O here. Okay, OSPF. How many O? So in R1 they got 2 O for OSPF. In R2, is it same? Also 2 O's, right? So both having 2 O's. We can write the answer. Both R1 and R2 show 2 OSPF roots. And then if the router know all the routes in the network, then the number of the connected route can and dynamically learn routes OSPF should equal to number of LAN and WANs. How many LAN and WAN are in the topology? You see here how many LAN and WAN in the topology itself. So you can consider this one as each switch will represent one LAN, right? So we have 4 LAN. So all combination of LAN which R1 and R2 connected all the network, we can consider as 1. So we can write as LAN and 1 having 5. I mean 4 of it LAN and 1 1. So what else? Does this number match the number C and O routes shown in the routing table? If your answer is no, then you're missing record information. Review the step in part 2. So actually, yes. Number match the number C and O routes shown in the routing table. Because one connect to here, one connect to here. And then one connect to here, one connect to here. Then this connection. So we have 5 connection in total. Okay, although if you find R, they got 3 connection, R2 got 3 as well, but this one consider 1. They combine together because they connect each other. Okay, next test end-to-end connectivity across the network. From command, you should now be able to ping from any PC to another PC in the network. In addition, you should be able to ping the active interface in the router. For example, for instance, should be successful PC1 to PC4. So they are the router table already there. You can use the command prompt here. PC1 to PC4, right? What are the IP address for PC4? Ping PC4 10, right? 10.1.2.10 because you have a route the router. Although PC1 in different network which started with 192.168.10.0, but PC4 is different network 10.1.2.0, but have router should be no problem. The router already have the routing table to route the packet. Now successful, and then you can actually capture this, put into this part. You can capture this actually. Capture For me lah, if I want, I just capture this successful. Okay, okay, it's smaller. And then from the command line on R2 ping PC2, we can use also R2 PC2, ping R2 in different network, ping PC2 192.168.11.10, right? So successfully 100% because already there. Okay, now already complete the task. Please subscribe to this channel. Thank you and see you